Hi everybody, Christina Elbar here, and I haven't done a vlog in a while, but I just thought it was important to share this story with you guys and to really talk about something that's so important as an indie author or just an author or entrepreneur or hustler in general. And I wanted to talk about perseverance. And when you get into something like writing or publishing or I mean, most things in life, you can't be someone that's in it for the bursts of success. You have to play the long game. So when you do something and you don't see immediate success from it, you cannot allow yourself to break down. You have to continuously push yourself. And the first show, I don't think it was the first show, but I did last week. I went to C2E2 in Chicago. It's one of the biggest cons in the Midwest, run by Reed Pop. They're very professional, great company that runs different conventions. And I've been going to C2E2 every year except the very first one. In the first couple years, I just went as press with the Gorgeous Geeks with my sisters. But eventually, I decided to start getting booths so I could sell my books and. Um, I always put a lot outgoing as far as hotels and travel. I think the first year I went, I really didn't have enough product to kind of recoup all my losses anyway. And as I built myself up more, I put myself in a better position to succeed. But when I wouldn't make out in the positive, I'd always see me getting out there as an opportunity to market myself. I always get these posters. Every time I come out with a book, I get them made, and most people get pop-ups, and that's so much easier than what I do. It's just not what I've ended up doing yet. But I get these posters, and they'd say, they'd have the book covers and stuff on there, and people walk by and like, Super Kid. Oh, what's Super Kid? What's the light book? I'm like, would you like to know about Super Kid? And I'd always pass out all these flyers and stuff, and I'd be so proud when I'd pass out 5,000 or 1,000 or whatever, how many little flyer cards that I got, because they had information that people needed to get to me and to read about my book. Word of mouth is so important. And people would see the banner and they'd see Ninja Dust, and they'd have that in their heads and their minds. And it was just so important to get yourself out there. And if you're just sitting at home working your 9 to 5, how are people going to know about you? And a lot of times that's kind of worth the risk there, just kind of getting out, because I have a nice job and I really like it, but my passion and my craft is writing, and so I've got to travel or I'll just go crazy, and it's important to get out there. And so when I wouldn't make out, I'd just tell myself, you're getting your name out there, you're getting your name out there. And I'd have people pray for me in church and like prophesy, you know, people are talking about you, you're getting your name out there. And I'd hold that to heart. And so most of the time, I've had some good shows um, where I, came back positive, and I'm like, oh, that was a great experience and stuff. But these big shows could be hard, especially like a comic book convention, because it kind of hurts when, because like I remember what was last year, this black family walked up, and I was talking to like the slightly older boy about Super Kid, and then the younger son picked it up and looked at it, and he's like, these are just words. And for some reason that like activated the entire family's departure. And I'm just like, what did that kid just do? Like, novels are not an easy sell at Comic Con. Um, and I've started to trying to focus on some more author events and festivals and stuff. Um, but I went across the country for a book festival, and I thought I was gonna just kind of blow it out of the park. I was so excited about it, and I drove across the country, and I put out a lot, because I had to pay for hotels too and then back, and then the booth was a lot. I mean, I've been to pricier places, but it was just a lot to go out on a limb for, and I didn't quite have the success that I wanted, and that one really stung, I must say, because it just felt like I did everything right, and this was the time that I expected that I should have really had my socks knocked off, and it was cool that there are people that saw my banner and Ninja just like, oh, I've heard of you guys. I'm just like, how you hear about me? Um, and that was awesome, but it was like a kick in the teeth and a punch in the gut and a knock to the head with a gun. Like it was I was really depressed and sad, and I don't know if my sister could tell. Tina, she was the one who came with me out that way. But I went to the Grand Canyon with her, and we had never been before, and so it was so breathtaking, the sight of it. And it was like right before the park closed when we got there, and had just not a lot of time to look around, but we just kind of took it in, and I remember we climbed this big rock together and we just looked out as the sun was setting, and it was so gorgeous, and I just kind of took it in like, this didn't quite work out how you expected, and tomorrow's another day to try. And so um this past trip to Chicago, I wasn't planning on going. It was very last minute, and I did get some shade about going from some family, and they're like, why is she doing it this one again? And some family was just kind of like defended me, like, it's her money, it's her life, let her do her thing. And so I went again, and I couldn't find my Ninja Dust banner because it was my sister's car. And so I got a new one, put up that said my name. Um, After I went to Book Expo America last year, I decided to kind of do things differently, and um, instead of just kind of appearing as Ninja Dust Publishing as it's some kind of, I don't know, entity bigger than what it is, I decided to be more personable and personal and say, you know what, this is me. This is an indie publishing company that's housing me, and I'm getting this stuff out there. I have friends and family and people who support me and love me. Praise God for them. But this thing is me, and um, it's my heart, it's my soul, and it's one girl working very hard to achieve her dreams and goals. And people have responded very well to it. So it just said author Christina Elbar, and it had my 9 books that I have at the time on the banner. And people were going around, just saying my name. And people were coming up to the table like, oh, I'm not familiar with her, and I'm like, well, that's me, and get a chance to talk and to know people. My sister Tina, she's great at pitching my stuff, but she's heard me pitch it so many times. Um, but it was great, people just saying my name or whispering the names of my books and stuff as they were walking by. I just heard it constantly, constantly, and I turned to my sister Tina, say my name, and it was so cool to have that recognition, and it was another great marketing opportunity. I didn't have time to really make up little hand flyers like I usually do, but every time I go to a show like this, I always get the press list, and I send out press releases, and I had quite a few interviews with people, and even like maybe some of the bigger entities, that press entities that were there that didn't have time, they still know me, they still got the press release, and they still have my information, and they saw that, and so I'm still in their minds, and I still have their contact information. So when you go to something like these things, you really have to make the most of them. But the cool thing about this particular convention, that I must say, is it's something that I've continuously gone to. And so I think the second time I had a booth there, a girl named Kaylee came to my booth, and she told me how much she loved Almost Alive. Because she talked about how much she loved Almost Alive, I was so excited to write the sequel. Like, I immediately went home and started working on it. And I was so determined to get it done for the next time I saw Kaylee. And I didn't quite, I had it done, but it wasn't like ready to be printed at that time. And so she ended up buying it in advance, and I sent it to her. And I was just so excited by a fan. And this time that I went, my very first customer who bought a book was someone who had bought Color of God's Eyes at the last convention, and they enjoyed it. I mean, they had their critique too, but they really enjoyed it. It was exciting to talk to somebody about the twist ending. It was so exciting. And she got another book because she enjoyed it. And so, and then there was a mother daughter who came in and got books, and between the two of them they've gotten every book I've had, with the, like the exception of Super Kid. They're like, we don't know no kids. It's like, okay, it's still funny. But they got everything. And I had a couple repeat customers, and people were excited to see me there again. And it's just cool that I had a clientele. And I got to tell you, I came back in the positive, and I had a successful show, and so many great things happened there. And if I wouldn't have sewed continuously into this convention, and I wouldn't have this base now that we're expecting, that see me, that know me, that are impressed by the perseverance or just by what I do. And it was so reassuring to know that putting the time into something eventually does pay off. And at this time, like, this is where I feel like this is the year where I'm going to come into my own, and I'm really going to see some great success, and things take off in a way that they haven't before. And this was just the first step. And when times when you feel like you're knocked down, or things don't work out the way that you expect them to, you just gotta swallow your pride and take your lumps, pat yourself back up again, and go forward. You gotta be like a saying, um, if you're hurt, you're gonna recover, and you're gonna come back exponentially stronger than you were before, because you've taken your hits, you've learned how the enemy fights, you've learned the business, and you can go forward and come back stronger than ever, and you can ascend to the next level. So Dragon Ball Z is my favorite all-time TV show ever, and it always will be. Always will be. I don't care what else comes out, it always will be. And you just got to be strong, and don't let anyone else tear you down. Like, you can listen to people around you, and I do take valid advice. I'm not just a stubborn person who would just launch across the country. I called and got a lot of counsel about stuff, and I asked, people to pray for direction and help me pray for direction and stuff too. But ultimately, I had to make a decision, and I felt good about it. My sister Tina was adamant about going too, so I'm thankful for her being stubborn about wanting to go. Um, but you gotta ask yourself, is it worth the risk? And if it's not a risk you can live with, then don't take it. But this is something that's so incredibly important to me, and I can't not take the chances. I can't not go out on a limb, and I can't stop writing, and I can't stop trying to get my message out there, because, like I keep saying, I feel like I have stories that need to be heard, and they're great stories, and there's something that I want to share with people. Yeah, I want success, duh, but um, that's not entirely all why I do it. And I think when you really love what you do, that's when you have the strength to persevere. And eventually you'll see all the stars align and come together. And I hope someone out there who's been discouraged about maybe where they are, where they've been, can attest that you just have to hold on a little bit longer. I saw that J.K. Rowling released a rejection letter that she had, and I really want to see Stephanie Meyer's rejection letters. Um, but you just have to hang in there, and go for your dream despite everything, because ultimately you're the one who keeps that dream alive. And you can have family, you can have support, you can have friends, um, but they're not the one who's having your baby. You have to carry it, and you have to carry it to term. So persevere, get stronger, go the distance. And I had a great trip this past weekend, and I'm excited to have some more. I'm so bummed that Motor City, that's a local convention. I'm sad that I missed that. I'm on the waiting list. If we want to help me, please help me get there. I would love to go back this year. But I'm gonna take some other trips this year, as many as I can, without um, this election season getting in the way. For anyone that knows, I work for the Michigan Republican Party, so it's kind of an important year. Um, a lot of graphics and videos and things I have to make. But I'm excited to write. I'm excited to do what I do and do what I love. And when you're doing what you love, it's not work. But stay strong, guys. Persevere. And I keep summing things up, so I'm gonna go now. You have a great day, and happy Easter, guys.